Welcome to Bullet Point. We are your host. I'm EP.
I'm JM.
Every week we're going to talk about competitive shooting and everything around it.
So if you're an aficionado, enthusiast, beginner, or just plain curious, this is your show.
Of course, you can easily connect with us through PHLV Radio Facebook page, Bullet Point Facebook page, or simply email us at bulletpointmediaproduction@gmail.com.
Now, don't forget to like and subscribe on your YouTube channel so you would be able to get the latest episodes of Bullet Point.
With us tonight, of course, we're going to be talking about
Divisions.
Yes. USPSA divisions. Are you ready? Stand by. So, ladies and gentlemen, USPSA has a few different divisions that requires different guns, right?
Yes.
So, the equipment that you are going to be using, giving every competitor the chance to participate on a level playing field. So, of course, guys, things like magazine length or capacity that can be restricted, or other items like your holster type and location may also take you from one division to another depending on where it is located to your body. So divisions, like all of these things that we're going to be talking about tonight, definitely we're going to give you that insight.
Yes. So if you're not sure what division your equipment belongs to, whether it's your rig, holster, or firearm, don't worry. Just follow along. There's going to be few rules to divisions that you may have some questions about. So we're going to try to guide you as best as we can.
Of course. So JM, let's dive into it. All right.
Let's do it.
So I remember, maybe we can talk about limited division.
Yes.
So I started with limited division.
Right. I started in limited too.
So because if you're new in USPSA JM, right, limited is more likely the division that a person will shoot for the first time.
Right.
So I remember that. So almost every gun sold with iron sights.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what it is. They will comply with the equipment rules for limited, making it one of the most popular division when I was starting. How about you?
Right. Yeah. No. Same thing. Normally, it's a 2011 platform.
Yeah, that's what I use.
That you would use that to stay competitive in that. And we touched up last episode about the scoring. So the limited division usually falls in. The majority would be a major, scoring major.
Exactly.
Right?
So I was using 40 caliber at the time.
Yes, same.
So you were talking about a major power factor.
Yes,
So
correct.
we're going to be talking about that, about power factors next time. But for limited, you can shoot, minor loads for limited.
You could.
But of course, you would want to be scoring on a major.
Right. It'll be a little bit challenging that you would have to get all alphas to stay running with the
major load. Exactly.
Yeah.
So handguns can be modified as well, guys. So quite extensively, you have to really make sure that your gun is at par to to these good guns out there.
Right.
But of course, unlimited, you cannot have a compensator nor an optic. It's just plain iron sight. So many competitors will be using customized guns that have customized slide cuts, enlarged magwells, frame weights, slide rackers, thumb rests, all of this, just like the other division that we'll be talking about later on. So what gun did you use to use on the limited?
I had a 2011
platform.
Yeah,
is what
so
you're
I
saying,
had
right?
a couple. I usually do a main gun, and then I have the backup.
Backup gun.
Very identical. They have to be very identical.
Okay, that's a good thing. That's a good strategy.
So there's no adjustment.
For just in case, guys, he's doing that because just in case one gun will not be performing.
Yes. If you have issues during
right?
the range, so
you have somebody, you have something to back up.
Right. You don't have time to tinker it and diagnose what issue the gun would have. So all you have to do is pick up
the other one,
pick it
right?
up,
So Well, I did use a 2011 platform at the time for my limited as well, but you can use Glock 34,
Yeah,
35s.
yeah, you can.
Use CZ Tactical Sports, all this Smith and Wesson. But mostly uses 2011 in this platform.
Yeah.
So almost all of those guns that I mentioned, JM, I know that you guys can buy it from your local gun store. As long as you have that legal age.
Yes.
We'll talk about
Yes.
legal age next
Right.
time too,
the
right?
legalities and the rules and
There's a lot.
every state is different, right?
Exactly,
Gun
yeah.
laws, and we do have the federal firearm law.
Exactly. So many shooters find the limited division to be one of their most preferred because most stages will only require a single reload.
Right.
So
Yes.
like maybe, hey, a 32 round what do you call this, course of fire,
Yeah.
a single reload is actually expected.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe about, I know I used to have 3 magazines on me.
I usually do 3 as well, just to be sure.
Yeah, so you are actually going to plan an efficient way on how to shoot those
Right, your
course.
stage plan.
Stage planning is
Yeah.
very important,
Yeah.
and of course the one that you mentioned a while ago, major scoring is a good, it's
You
really
want
a
that.
factor.
You want that.
really want that, right? Good. All right. So we'll be showing you what a limited gun looks like in this part of the show. Basically, that sample of a limited gun, you have that iron sights, you have a magwell.
Yes.
What else can you suggest on that limited?
Nothing really. I mean, most of the manufacturers, there are out of the box
Guns.
guns already,
okay.
and you can compete right away.
Right away, right?
That's the cool thing about our
Limited
sport,
up,
and these manufacturers, and we play along the rules and regulations of USPSA, but there are some off the shelf 2011s and
firearms.
that falls under the limited division that you can use.
There you go, guys. If you think this is the division that you would want to be part of, or
You're already shooting.
yeah.
Right.
So there you go. You just have your iron sights, just a magwell, and your magazines. Usually, I use 3. There you go. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So we'll go to my favorite division. I think this is your
Yes.
favorite division too.
That's right.
Right. So we call it the open division. So some people call it the race guns.
Yes.
So can you tell us more about this one? Your favorite gun, JM?
Yes. It is the Formula One division.
Oh yeah, I like that. The
so-
Formula One division.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. This is meant to go fast. Normally you would have a compensator. It's still also very efficient if it's a 2011 platform.
Still, huh? That's your
Yes,
go-to, right?
right,
Oh, again, not everybody's using 2011, but majority of open guns are
Yes,
2011.
I've seen Glocks that
Yeah, I've
are
seen that
set
too.
up in the open
Open.
division,
Right.
Canics and some of the other manufacturers. But normally this would be a 2011 for an advantage position.
Exactly. With the word open, meaning you can do anything with a gun, right?
Right.
High capacity
Pretty much,
magazines,
yeah. So yeah, you have the compensator, you have a red dot, or something that an optic on it. Usually you still have the magwell. It's the best part about this division. It's the magazine rounds. the
Exactly,
capacity, right?
Ever since I moved to open division, some people that we play with, right? They
Right.
say, hey, you don't have to what do you call it, reload.
Yeah.
No reload for
Yeah.
you.
So any stages for us that are like 25 rounds, normally we wouldn't reload because we have 30,
Enough.
right?
Yeah,
30
exactly.
or I've seen other shooters do 30 plus 1.
Really, huh? Okay,
so-
so I do 28. Just kidding. Okay, again, open division is a really fast division,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they have very little equipment restrictions, just
Right.
like what you were saying.
Right,
And
right.
this allows competitors to modify and tune their pistols to shoot flat
Yes.
and fast. That's what
Yes.
we say it, right?
Yes,
Flat and fast.
one thing about the open division, normally again it would still fall into the major power
Scoring.
factor.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
They don't normally do well. These open firearms don't normally do well on a off shelf
That's correct.
ammo,
Exactly.
it will give you some issues.
Exactly.
You know.
But you're using nine millimeter or
I use both.
okay.
9, I load up to the 9 major, and then also 38 super comp.
Super comp.
Yeah.
But the 9mm is actually the caliber usually of choice, right? Most competitive shooters, you do your own reload, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
for that division,
You have to, right?
almost always will
there you
be
go.
using your
Yeah,
own.
there you go, guys. So an open division, I do my own reload because you really have to tailor your bullets to your firearms.
Yeah.
You know, you want to make sure that it works well with the gun compensator.
Right.
You know, and of course, you mentioned about major factor, power factor, which you cannot normally find off the shelf. You can. Oh, by the way, guys, in an open, exactly what you said, JM, right? You're gonna just buy it off the shelf.
Yeah, you could. There are just a very handful, very limited.
Oh, really? Okay, there you go.
Companies that offer a 9 major or 38 super comp ammo that's already ready to go.
Okay.
You can, but again, it's a little expensive if you keep doing that. You know.
There you go, guys. So if you would want to go open division, right? So you know, the 2011, as you mentioned, is usually the platform of choice for open division. It's just like the AR.
Yeah.
You know, so but it has a lot of accessories and a lot of manufacturers to choose from. You know, and ultimately letting you customize the pistol to the kind of hand grip that you would have or shooting style that you would want to. You know, it's very adaptable.
Yes.
All right. So when you look at a picture of an open gun, of course, James' gun is more beautiful than this. So you were mentioning about magwells, right?
Yes.
So and then the high capacity magazines,
Right.
the 30+1 and like that.
Right. Normally, the optic is frame mounted.
Frame mounted optics.
Frame
That's right.
mounted optic. And
Okay.
then yeah, it's a fun division for us.
Oh man, I'm telling you, when Miko, our friend, introduced me to this open gun, oh my God, he actually mentioned to me, "You will never look back to any guns after you try it." You know, and then yes, we mentioned about compensator in this gun. The slide rack is it's kind of different. It's also a different feel, right?
It's I've seen other competitors they don't put the slide racker.
Oh really? Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
Yes, and in fact, last month I've seen one. I shoot with one person, and I felt weird when I having it. Why? You know, but
Or even the thumb rest.
even the thumb rest.
Right?
Yes, that's right.
It's all preference at this point.
Exactly.
That's why the beauty of the open gun is you can customize it
according
to what you want.
Exactly.
As far as
not everybody's the same
ergonomics,
we're using an open gun, but generally, guys, this picture depicts really what an open gun is. There's different colors that you could put in there. You know, you just have to gamify the game.
Right. Exactly.
And
exactly.
a lot of aesthetics you can put in the gun too.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so,
Yes.
there you go. That's my favorite and James' favorite. So we can look at another division called production. So the production division is sometimes considered the stock division. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct. Like off shelf.
Off shelves, right?
Yeah.
So with a magazine capacity limited to, sometimes depends where you are, 10 rounds,
10,
right?
10 or 12.
12,
Yeah.
right? So hardly there's any external modifications are allowed to this firearm, and all the equipment on your belt must be located behind the front of your hip bone.
Yes.
You know, I didn't even know that because I never used production, right? So that's what it is. There's this is a USPSA requirement, right?
Right.
Okay, so you can modify certain items like the hammers, you can, the grip panel, you can do that. And internal parts, yes, you can modify, but overall, the gun must appear, the physical look of this production gun, like you bought it off the shelf, right?
Yeah.
Stock, really,
Stock.
literally.
Yeah.
And as if you got this from the factory, and it should be on the list of approved production guns.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a long list.
There's a long list, but kind of tight on the of this restriction, right?
Right.
So there are different guns out there. You
Yeah.
know, have you used production guns before, Jam?
I've had a couple before in the
Okay.
past. It's usually like Glock.
Glock usually, right?
Glock,
Yeah.
yeah.
I started with Glock anyway.
Glock
You know?
17,
Yeah.
Glock 19.
And there's a lot really. CZ,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's the most
Foglio,
popular ones.
CZ.
CZs are the most
right?
popular ones.
You know, Sig Sauers, the
Sigs,
P320,
yeah.
they use that too. You know,
Yeah. Usually the
Um,
Legion.
the Legions,
the 320
exactly,
Legions,
the
right?
P320,
Yeah.
P320. And then all of these are top performing guns
Yes.
that you can see in USPSA right now.
Yep.
And many people are, are asking how much of a power factor the gun is to the shooter's performance. What's the power factor for production?
It's minor.
It's minor.
It's minor.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 9 millimeter, right?
Yes.
So
yes, usually.
so
And this is for our viewers. This is also I would say entry point
really?
for USB if you want to try USPSA, because again, due to the affordability of most of the production
Exactly.
firearms,
Right.
you can go to any of your local favorite gun stores and buy it, and you can start competing.
Yeah, the only downside maybe on production is the limitation for how much bullet you can put in a magazine.
So
right?
you
Yeah.
would have to plan your reload accordingly.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, if you have a long course of fire,
Yeah.
let's just say 32,
Yeah.
imagine how many times that you're going
Right.
to be, and
Right.
that depends on how they created the stages
Yes.
too. You make stages, you know that.
I do. I do. We have to whenever we do that, we have to pretty much cater to every division that it's
Yeah, exactly. To make it fun to everybody,
Yes,
right?
of
That's
course,
actually very, very hard. What will you do to cater this stage to cater to every division?
Yeah.
That's tough, right?
Yeah, it is.
So you'd see in the picture here, guys, that's a sample of a production gun like a CZ right there. So plain as buying it off shelf, just like what JM said, just buy it and ready to go.
Yep.
Awesome. So that's a production gun for you. Let's talk about single stack division, Jam.
Yeah.
So-
I think production and single stack are
Almost similar.
closely related.
Okay.
I think there's a deep history of the single stack guns that were used in the past.
Oh yeah,
With
especially on the
USPSA.
1911 platform.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Normally that would be a single stack. In the past, it's a 45 caliber. You just imagine
Can
that.
you imagine that 45, right?
And it's 8 rounds. So at least the single stack division kind of evolved a little bit, where it took 9 millimeter
Yeah.
or 40s.
40.
So this is also again a lot of reloads, and there's still some really really good single stack shooters in our USPSA
Exactly. And
world.
and single stack has a what do you call this? Has a different rule, from the production world.
Yes.
Well, everybody has a 1911 frame mostly on a single
Yeah.
stack.
You can borrow
But-
it from your dad.
Yeah, at the
Right?
bar. Yeah, well, I did. So they actually have to fit into a box that has a specific dimension.
Yes.
For this single stack division.
Yeah.
And it has to be under 43 ounces, when they actually weigh it. I don't know for local matches if they even weigh it.
No, for a level 1,
Doesn't really know.
and folks, when we say level 1, this is your usual club matches. They're usually pretty lenient,
For that, right?
on the rules and regulations.
Exactly.
They want everybody to
enjoy
it,
and
especially
learn.
with the first time shooters.
Yeah.
You know.
So, well, again, just like the production, your holster and magazine pouches need to be placed in a very specific spots. It's the same restriction on certain types of holsters and magazine retention devices that you'll be using for single stack division. And again, guys, you would definitely normally see this around when they have a lot of those magazines.
Right. It wraps around all
Exactly.
in their backs.
So well, you can shoot minor and major for the single stack division. And then again, the scoring, guys, we'll talk about that in one of our episodes, how the scoring is all about. But then again, you will want to know in single stack division, you can use minor or major in this division.
Correct.
So major scoring, there's limitation, but we'll dive down, or we'll have a deep dive on that on our next episode. Okay, so yeah, that's single stack division. So when you look at the picture, the single stack division, that's my dad's gun.
That's actually a nice gun. Actually.
It's a good gun, right?
Yeah.
So beautiful, really. So.
Right.
Meaning single stack is just, your magazine is just stacked single line.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not a double stack. Instead, it's single stack. So when you hear 2011, those are double stack.
Right.
So it just means that your bullets are stacked on 2 rows.
It's
right?
double capacity. Yeah.
Double capacity.
Right.
There you go. So that's your single stack gun. You can buy it off shelf and start shooting.
Correct.
All right. So yeah. So carry optic division, sir.
Yeah, carry optic. I think it's one of the newest, and I think the most popular one because it has its own nationals.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Carry optics nationals.
There you go.
There's a lot of demographics of shooters that are shooting the carry optics division.
Basically, the carry optic division, that's a production gun, right?
Yes.
That has a red dot.
Correct.
That's it, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
And normally your magazine capacity would be larger.
Larger.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you do have that red dot. You do have that assistance from that red dot,
Red
which
dot.
helps a lot.
So it means that the red dot is actually on top of the slide.
Yes.
Right.
Correct.
So
Correct.
so how do you do that? You have to have a ready optic ready.
Well, so there's a couple routes. So the first route is there are some manufacturers that offers an optic ready
slide.
Slide,
Okay.
right, or firearm.
Firearm.
All you have to do is unscrew that those two top screws,
Okay.
and it'll come off. And depending on what optic you
be
use, you use a mounting for that,
Okay.
or a plate normally. And the other one is some of them, they like to have their slides cut.
Oh, okay. Because some of the guns doesn't come in optic ready, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But they can still use.
if they have their own already and it's not.
They just have to have it cut.
All they got to do is have it cut. That's
Awesome.
it, and there's no magwell, right?
There's no magwell.
Yeah.
It's just like a production. You have your red dot on that. Start shooting, guys. Right. So, and I know it's an easy and fun division to compete in. I've seen a lot of our friends. When I started shooting, guys, I've seen a lot of people really shooting carry optics up until today.
Yes.
When you look at the match breakdowns, carry optics just dominates.
It's a lot.
It's
a lot. Yeah.
Exactly, guys. So magazine capacity is limited by its length as well.
Yes.
Yeah. How much if you're 9mm?
140.
140.
140 millimeters.
Okay, that's about 22 rounds.
Ish.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
just like the limited division that we were talking about, other exterior modification are not allowed.
Yeah.
Except for that red dot. Right. So
no magwells.
no magwells. Just like the production. So equipment placement on the belt also mimics the production. Okay, the hip bone is always going to be your index there. So I never participated in carry optics.
I do have a carry optic firearm.
Okay.
It's a CZ.
Oh, okay. Shadow 2?
No, it's an AO1 LD.
Oh,
it's like
wow.
a long dust
Okay.
cover.
Okay.
It's a beautiful gun. But I've only used it like maybe once or twice just to classify,
that's actually a division that I never tried.
Yeah.
But from an open gun, you have this what you were saying, where you can put the optic mount.
Yeah.
You have that in open gun. But this one is on top of your slide, so it just keeps
Right.
on moving.
Yeah,
right?
it'll
tough.
bounce. It'll
Yeah.
bounce a lot.
You
if
keep on looking for your red dot. But it's a fun division. I've seen some of our friends when they're shooting, I lost my red dot.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a fun division. It's a very popular division.
It's a very popular
Still
division.
is,
Up until today.
Yep.
Really, that's
Yep.
correct. Right.
Yep.
So this is how it looks like. The one that the gun that you're looking at the moment, JM mentioned there's no magwell there, right? So it's a production gun, and just put a optic on top of it, and there you go.
Yep,
Awesome.
that's it.
That's your carry optic guns, guys. So if this is something that you would want to explore, there's a lot of guns there. Gun stores locally, they can teach you what guns are for carry optic division,
Yeah.
right? So I know this is something that you also master, JM, PCC, pistol
Yeah,
caliber
PCC.
carbine. So it's another one of the division, and I know this is one of the newer USPSA divisions.
Yes, it's certainly one of the newest divisions that but it's been on for a few years now.
Okay.
But mostly there's a lot of traction in this division as well, because
Okay.
it's a pistol caliber carbine, which
It's
is
a rifle,
It's a
basically.
9mm.
Yeah.
Normally, for the most part, and then this is pretty much your magazine is as long as you can go.
Exactly, yeah. If you want to have 1,000 bullets, right?
So
So
I've seen them use the drum.
The drum?
Yeah, the Magpul
For PCC,
drum. Yeah,
that's
I've
heavy,
seen
man.
that. I've seen that. I've seen that.
no reload.
No reloads.
All right. So if in the pistol arena or division, the go-to mostly, or gun manufacturers copies 2011 platform or 1911 platform.
Yeah.
But for PCC, it's an AR-15 platform
It
that
is
they copy, right?
Yes, it's
Okay.
an AR-15 platform. Obviously, it can't be an AR. It can't be a 223 or 5.56.
No, of course, definitely. Yeah. It's a
It has
9
to be a
millimeter.
9mm.
Okay.
So the photo that you probably would see is there's a magwell in there.
Yeah.
And most of the platforms for PCC, they're usually lightweight.
Lightweight.
Yeah, and again, it's still the same platform, or at least a variance of the AR-15, where you have the upper
And the lower.
and the lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, since you mentioned this AR variant, there's a lot of guns out there. I mean, PCC carbine that they can
Yeah.
look into, JP or the 6-hour MPX.
Right.
These are the most common PCC that you would see in the market.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So scoring, just like what you mentioned, is limited
Minor,
to
yeah.
a minor.
Yeah,
Minor scoring.
would be minor on this one.
Okay, so the capacity and the length of the firearm, there's no limit.
Well, so normally you would have the 16 or lesser.
Okay.
I've seen them
Shorter.
shorter. And they give a thumbs up from the match directors, but I've
Well-
seen them shorter. But normally it's a 14.5 or a 16-inch
Okay.
length.
And what do you call this? Even though how short or how long that is, I think a lot of beginners will really enjoy the PCC
So it is.
division.
It is. It's still. It's also a fast division.
Fast division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of competitors.
Okay.
So we'll have upcoming the PCC
Nationals.
Open
Nationals.
in,
Wow, it's going to
in
be a few weeks,
Talladega.
right?
It's going to be in a couple weeks.
You'll be there.
I will be there.
Your son will be there.
Yes, my son will be there. So
Okay.
we're gonna try our best, definitely. But we're we're also looking forward to talking to some of our fellow co-shooters
Yeah,
about
I'm
their
excited
experience
about
there.
that. Yeah.
That's for our next
Episode,
few
right?
episodes. Yeah.
Let's give an update on what's going to be
Yeah.
happening in Nationals. Guys, Nationals is a big thing, really.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
that's something that you would want to aim for
Right.
when you start growing your skills
Yes,
in
yes.
competitive
or if,
shooting.
If you've already been
Shooting.
at nationals before, now
yeah.
you certainly know the experience.
Exactly.
How it feels like.
So PCC, again, just going back to that, JM, I know it's very fun to shoot, very light or little recoil.
Yes, it's a rifle. That's
it's
why.
a rifle, right? So it does bring its own set of challenges that pistols actually do not have.
Right.
I know because it's long.
It's
sometimes
longer.
there's a barrier that sometimes
you would have to maneuver out of it.
maneuver. Yeah, exactly. Especially right-handed and left-handed is kind of difficult too.
Right,
So especially on leaning on how to
Yes.
shoot, it's really very difficult. Gives you off
Another
balance.
part too is sometimes if the course of fire would command a reload.
Oh, that's another thing too, right? So can you imagine those long magazine? But you can actually have a
Yeah, you can have a shorter one. You can have a shorter one.
Exactly, but not the drum.
That's heavy.
That's heavy. But there you go, guys. So this is how it looks like for a PCC rifle. That's as bare as it could get, right? So
Yes.
you can put your red
You can
dots.
just put your red dot.
How many red
or-
dots can you put there?
I mean, normally it's just one, but I've seen them put an offset.
Two, right? Yeah.
Yeah, normally
The
it's
offset.
just the other red dot for a 45-degree
Exactly.
offset.
They
for,
do that.
For some,
I've seen that too.
For some leanings.
But I don't know if I would even do that, right?
Yeah,
But, Oh, by the way, I haven't even shot PCC.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun, right?
It's fun.
Maybe one of
I
these
shot
days.
it a couple times.
Really? Yeah, of course. Right. So it looks like this. This is as bare as it could get. You can have those long magazines to feed it. 9mm minor. There you go, guys. This is your PCC division.
Right.
Awesome. Okay, guys. So revolver.
Yes, revolver.
So I don't know, man.
Anytime I think of revolver, it's like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, that's what the exact classic, right? That's what I always think about. What do you call this? It's a classic gun,
Yeah.
So, but who knows? That may be for you,
Right.
Because this is the thing. Just like my daughter, right? So she's only 16, but her music, my God, Frank Sinatra. So there are people who are old soul,
the classic
man.
ones.
The classic
Yes.
ones, So I don't take it against her, right?
Right.
So I'm not saying that revolvers are only for old people. Not really,
No,
because I've seen some young people using this one too.
Yes,
Right.
I've seen them in matches too.
Exactly. So, but I don't really see myself using joining a revolver division. But I know it has its own unique challenges. But there are really shooters that really masters this.
There are. So, anytime that I interact with revolver shooters, I usually look at they call it the moon clips.
Oh, yeah, the moon clips.
Yeah,
Really?
moon
Yeah, I
clips,
remember.
right?
Yeah,
So,
the moon clips.
they have it around their waist.
They have
and
specialized hangers.
They
right?
do. They do. It's so cool because anytime that we see one, I was like, man, imagine the reload that you're going to have to do.
Mind you, versus the way I think of revolver, because of those moon clips.
Yeah.
Oh my God! They're lighting fast.
Right.
They're very
Oh,
fast.
they're like Jerry Mikulczyk.
Oh yeah, that's what do you call it? The fastest.
Yeah. It's crazy.
He's so fast. That's what it is,
Yeah.
right? So the division and this gun is made up of wheel guns. That's what they
Yes.
say, right?
Right,
And
right.
it can actually participate in major and minor too.
Right.
So minor revolvers can hold up to 8 rounds,
Mm-hmm.
where major power factor guns can only hold 6.
Right.
Um,
I've seen revolvers with optics on it.
oh really?
It's so cool.
Okay.
There was a match early this year that we went in Yuma,
Okay.
and one of them had a revolver with it.
I remember, when I was younger, from the Philippines, guys, I've seen these people who has got revolvers. I remember that.
Yeah.
But they have this, big optics,
Yeah.
like a telescope.
Let's go.
But it is what it is at the time, right?
Right.
But now, the smaller ones,
Yeah.
it's just so tiny,
it's
but-
tiny.
but very effective.
Right,
So this is your revolver gun, guys. There's a competition revolver guns. That's as simple as it can get. But again, there are good gears to support this kind of guns.
Right. Right.
So just like the pistols that we were talking about a while ago, the 2011 platforms, they have, oh my God, I love, our rigs,
Yeah.
you look so handsome, guys. Just kidding. And beautiful too for women. All right. So maybe we can talk about the limited 10 division. I don't know if there's still a lot of people using limited 10 division, JM.
In handgun nationals,
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, there's still some shooters that are
Awesome.
using, participating.
Keep
in
this going,
division.
guys. Yeah. I would suggest.
It's basically a limited firearm with a with 10 rounds.
That's it,
That's
right?
what it is.
So there are states that requires, or there's a restriction to how many bullets you can put in your firearm, right? So
Right.
in Minnesota, limited 10 is commonly used by competitors that shoot production or single stack and want to shoot a secondary division for fun, or may have a pistol with features that make them not eligible for production or single stack, but still want to have this additional challenge of a limited round capacity.
Right.
What I learned when I was beginning, in the competitive world of shooting, they said that limited 10 division will actually train you on how to do your reloads
Right.
fast, because
Correct.
you just keep on doing it.
Correct.
And mentally,
Yeah.
it's preparing you too.
Right.
Because every move that you do, you keep on counting. There's just a lot of moving elements.
I think the limited 10, limited production,
Yeah.
these divisions are very good
Training, right?
basis for your fundamentals.
I agree.
When you get into the sport.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it teaches sight picture and then accuracy.
Exactly.
Oh
This is a, what do you call this? This is a iron sight.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a good foundation, and then from there you can explore different divisions that would
Exactly.
suit you.
Yeah. I think this is a you guys would want to check this out too.
Yeah.
It's really fun watching people using meaning competing for limited division, how fast they can do
Right,
reload
right.
and how their mind really works, because they could just complete it seamlessly,
Right.
but
Well-
this is not for everybody.
right. And then before we forget, speaking of limited, there's a newest division.
Oh yeah,
on
that's
limited,
right. Yeah. The limited optics.
Yes.
What can you say about that, Jim?
Well, it's a provisional division.
Oh, still provisional.
Yes,
Okay.
so
All right.
it was introduced last year, or at least got approved
last
to
year,
use last year, right?
Yeah.
Around May last year. But this is a 2011 platform.
Okay.
So take your 2011, but it's a 9. Its scoring is minor.
Okay.
And it's 9mm.
Okay.
And then there's a dot on it. There's a magwell on it, and then you have your normal capacity of 2011.
Wow.
So it's a very fun.
In fact,
division.
I've seen people and they enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have one, but I intend to check it out as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are shooting that second to carry optics.
Yes.
So basically, what you're saying, JM, is the limited optics is just like a carry optics with a magwell.
Right.
That's it,
With a
right?
magwell. That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Okay.
That's
By
it.
the way, thumb rest is actually allowable for this.
For a limited optic,
Yeah.
yes, thumb rests are allowed.
Well, it looks handsome. All right, I think that's it for all the divisions, right?
Yep, that's
So
it.
basically, guys, we just tried to talk about the different types of USPSA divisions. Again, if you would want to get into the competitive world of shooting, the first thing that you would want to do is to make sure you register to the USPSA
Yes.
organization.
Yes,
right?
that's the first step. Usually they'll give you a USPSA number.
Okay, that's your unique
That's
ID,
your
right?
unique ID number. Nobody else has it.
And they have a very good website that's very
They do.
educational.
It's very informative.
Informative, right?
So we encourage our viewers, please check out USPSA.org. So you get familiarized on what kind of sport it is.
Exactly.
For the
get
new ones.
to know the world, right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
get to know why JM and me we're here talking to you guys, right?
That's right.
All right, I think we have a very fun conversation today,
Yes,
JM.
it is.
What do you call this? We're gonna be having another episode. You guys can watch us. Just look for PHLV Radio in Facebook.
Yes.
And we're going to be putting this in YouTube soon,
Right.
very, very soon. Just search for that bullet point. You're going to find it, right? And we will be airing every Tuesdays
Yes.
at 8 p.m.
That's exciting.
So let's invite them, sir.
Yeah. So please follow us and watch. for sure.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, you know how to get in touch with us. If you guys want some topic that we would want that we can talk about, we'll gladly hear from you guys and listen to the suggestions that you may have. All right. Again, guys, so this is our episode for tonight. My name again is EP.
I'm JM.
See you soon.
See you soon.